So how did I manage to find 7 of these Audi Super Chases in less than 24 hours? Stick around for that. Hi guys, welcome back to this week's episode. As I mentioned in the previous post, I ran into quite a few of these Audi R8 Super Chases. It's a story for the books. It doesn't happen every day. In fact, it hardly ever happens to me. It turned out to be quite a bit of a story. I'd been looking for one of these R8s for a while. I don't know, gotten into the Super Chases in the last while. Because we've had pretty decent restocks of Matchbox in South Africa, it's been not impossible to find them. I've had to turn to local like fellow collectors or local resellers to get some of them. Some of them I found myself, but the strike rate has been fairly good, much better than the Super treasure hunts at least. Okay, so they. Even though they're harder to find, they're not impossible to find, as how it seems with the super treasure hunts sometimes. So I'd been looking for one of these. We didn't. Okay, so these are only available in mix, and I'm hoping I get this the right way around. These were only available in mix 1 of 2025. Mix 2 had a lot of carryovers, but not the Super Chase. So judging by the numbering on the Super Chase card, and I'll show you that in a bit, we should be getting a Super Chase every second mix during the course of the 2025. Okay, so if the Super Chases were in one, we got power grabs at our retailers, our main retailers, for mix 1, but I was always either late to the party or I actually haven't seen many people show off power grab Audi, so I'm not sure if many were found locally. Maybe people just keeping it to themselves. And then we got mix 2 on the cards at the same retailer. So mix 2 not having the Super Chase, and then the mix 1 carded ones which had these were only at certain toy retailers, ones that weren't here where I live. They're upcountry or they're in the major centers only. So I don't have access to it. That would have been, I think, a Toy Kingdom or Toy Zone. Not sure which ones got that specific wave. So I thought, okay, well, if somebody finds one, then I'll try and get it off them. Should be a bit cheaper getting it locally than having to import it. So I was hanging off for a while. I wasn't going to order it yet from like Whatnot or eBay. I thought let's see what the locals find, and we'll take it from there. And then I had a fellow collector friend pick up 3 of these in one box, or in one unboxing. I think he did say it was out of one case. Might have been 1.5 or so it's spread across 2. He picked up 3 of them, so I knew they were around, and I thought, okay, let's see. I've got sort of an idea of what I'd pay for if I'm buying it off Facebook or on WhatsApp groups. I've got an idea of what I'm usually willing to pay for Super Chases. They're not worth as much as Super treasure hunts in my eyes. And looking at these, the reason for that is, while the castings and the color usually is okay, the finishing on these aren't brilliant. It doesn't have like a special paint job like the Super treasure hunts do. They do come with Matchbox's version of Real Riders, which I believe is called True Grip tires. But it's still plastic base, metal body, but with usually a flat paint. It looks like Matchbox. They tend to stick to a color scheme, so a lot of oranges from last year to this year, a lot of oranges, thinking this one, the upcoming Forerunner, is going to be orange. That Opal is going to be orange. So yeah, those Fords were orange as well, and then you get those sort of the black ones with the looks like the German coloured striping. So that tends to stick around for a while. You get the grey ones or the silver ones with the same sort of grey, the silver or grey ones with the German striping, the yellow and the red, or black trim then. So yeah, I think that's why I mean, I'm not willing to spend crazy money on that. Okay, so the story begins. This specific friend of mine said that he had another friend who was also a collector. He had a spare one of these, and he might have been willing to trade his. I had that spare BMW Touring Power Grab Super Chase, so I contacted the friend. I said, look, I've got a spare of these. Here you've got a spare Audi. We set up the trade very quickly, very easy to communicate with the guy. Very nice guy, and he, we struck a trade almost immediately. Everybody just paid for their own shipping, and the deal was done within like half an hour or something. As I was doing the trade, I also found a listing on a local Facebook group for this Super Chase, and it fell below the price that I usually am willing to pay for Super Chases. So I thought, okay, I've got the trade going, might as well get this one as well. It looked in very good nick. The card looked perfect. The paint finish looked fairly decent from the pictures. But okay, I'll take this one. I'll take the trade. I'll end up with two. If by some miracle I do find one in the wild, then the average cost that I pay for the Super Chase will just go down. I'll have more than three. I'll have three or more, and the amount that I pay out of pocket will just the average will decrease. So okay, I'll do it like that. I'd be happy with two. If I never find another one in the wild, that's fine as well. So off we went. So in the same breath, I was doing. I bought the one off Facebook, paid, did the trade, packages sent off, and then the next day I walked into our main retailer here where I live, and there was a big U-boat in the toy department, and the guy was busy unpacking all of the basic Hot Wheels, everything that was left over from Christmas, and it looked like he was clearing a spot on one end, moving all of the Hot Wheels to one side. I had a quick look at the U-boat. Even though there were two or three smaller Mattel toy boxes, they didn't have specific brands. So like on the Hot Wheels one, it'll have the Mattel logos and everything, but it'll say it's a Hot Wheels basic car, 72 count case, or it's a Matchbox Basics 48 count, whatever the case may be. This was a sort of a smaller one. I couldn't see any description. It was a 6-piece little box, so I'm assuming that might have been like the monster trucks. I'm guessing. Maybe character cars, maybe monster trucks. I didn't notice anything particular once he'd unpacked it that was like premium. So it wasn't like the collectors, or it wasn't moving parts. This was fairly early in the morning, so I let the guy do his stuff, and like I said, there wasn't anything on the U-boat that I thought I'd like to get into that, and I usually give the guys their space. I'm not one to go up to a person and say, look, can I help you unpack the whole thing? Let's cut open the boxes, the whole thing. I'll let him unpack it, and then I'll just check the shelf as per normal. So yeah. I left it to him. I probably went back 4 hours later. Now this is where the footage comes in, and this is what I walked up to. So I walk up to the shelf. He'd moved the Hot Wheels to one side, and lo and behold, front and center, my first Audi R8 in the wild. There was quite a restock. So I mean, it was massive. I don't know how many cases, a bunch of cases. So I started looking, and I mean, it's not hard to spot, because the Matchbox, and I'll show you when I cut back, the Matchbox Super Chases are marked in the corner. So it didn't take me long to find the second one. So there were 2 in the wild. So my count for the R8's up to 4 at this point. Kept looking. Lots of Fords, lots of Porsches, and not hard to spot that Audi emblem in the corner. So if you're looking, through the packed shelves, you're looking for the 1 from 6 on the right hand corner, or the Audi logo. Up to 3 in the wild, 5 in total. At this point, I had the phone in front of my face. So yes, I know you're screaming at the at the screen at the moment that there's a massive Super Chase logo sticking out from behind that first car, but I didn't see it. I was looking over my phone to the one behind, thinking I just found a 4th Super Chase in the wild. Yeah, and I left it like that. I had a quick look. The Audi logo, was actually obscured at this point behind the car. I had the phone in front of the Super Chase logo that stuck out, looming large, in that footage, and I left. I mean, at this point, 4 in the wild, 6 in total. That's unbelievable. I mean, I had to get it on screen, otherwise nobody, or on camera, otherwise nobody would have believed it anyway. So I actually left the store. As a joke, I actually let the guy know that I did the trade with, that you're not going to believe this, but this is what I walked up to, and I took them, and yeah. So I was looking at the footage. I think I just got back to the office, or was at another stop, and I had a quick look at the footage on my phone, and obviously spotted the very obvious one behind that I'd left behind. So I went back. Probably about an hour and a half later, and as you'll see, this is had to check. Actually, had to go back to the footage to see what peg it was behind, and it was still there. So, number 5 in the wild, in one go, 1 shelf, 1 restock, 7 in total. Okay, so this never happens, and I'm very grateful that I was lucky enough to. It was the right place at the right time. So now, I'm probably going to catch some heat for this from fellow collectors, people looking to get their own, saying, but why did I have to take all 5? Why not leave some behind? I didn't go through those shelves with a fine-tooth comb. So there might have been more. I at this point, I thought I'd take all the ones that I see at first glance. I did go back for that one, but I thought, look, if I go back and I couldn't get a 5th one, I'm not going to be crying about that. So, if somebody had found it in that hour and a half that I'd been gone, that's fine as well. So yeah, why would I grab so many Super Chases? Well, I was struggling to get them all in 2 hands. It's the same as the Super Treasure Hunts. Nobody's going to convince me that if they ran into 7, 5, 4, 3 Super Treasure Hunts on one shelf, that they were going to leave any of them behind. We have to, and I have to. I'm not. First off, let's qualify this. I'm not going to be selling these. These are for my personal collection. I might trade some of them for something that I want. And I am, with it, as mentioned before, usually when I do a trade, everybody leaves happy. I don't try and get anything extra out of it. I don't try and push my luck. I will trade these for whichever ones I don't have, and that's the main reason why I took all of them, is so that I have something to trade, something extra to trade for stuff that I do want, or that I don't want, or that I don't have access to, that other people up country might have access to. I'm not going to be selling these. These will not go on Facebook or whatever WhatsApp groups for sale, unless somebody really offers me, that they're desperate and they can't find it, we can work something out. But these aren't for resale. I'm not scalping these for inflated prices, reselling them. So the main reason why I grabbed them all is so that I have something to trade, because there are going to be Super Chases in the future, waves that we're not going to be getting, maybe different series that we're not going to be getting, and I'd like to have something in the back pocket. The other thing as well is I didn't approach the employee while he was unpacking his stuff to see what he was unpacking. I left him to it. These were on the shelf for a good 4 or 5 hours until I returned. So I feel that's pretty fair game. I think then somebody walks up to there's no backroom dealings, there's no bribing of staff, there's no going through sealed cases. It was on the shelf, available for everybody. I just happened to be the lucky sap that walked in at the right time, or still at the right time. And even though I missed one, I was able to go back a while later and get it. So yeah, that's probably one of the best hunting days that I've ever had. It makes for a good story. I was getting in the car and I thought, well, if nothing else, it'll make a decent story, real collector's tale. So yeah. I've got Audis. I don't need any more Audis. We'll be looking for the 4Runner. So if somebody finds a 4Runner locally in the next couple of waves, then maybe we can look at trading them. I'm having a look at these now. Because I have so many in front of me, you actually do get a sense of the quality in the finish. I'm not sure if this is going to show up, but some of these, they're not the same quality as. It's very slight, so I'm not sure it's going to show up on camera, but the bottom one, the paint finish isn't that great. It's as if the paint was applied in maybe a single coat and it didn't really get that orange. Okay, these two are also very close, but you can see some of them. There's a bit of inconsistency with the finish on these as well. So I think that's the one downside of the Matchbox Super Chases. Just to show you that, gonna focus. It's not going to focus. It likes my face. There we go. So the Super Chases are going to be 1 from 6. They're going to be marked out of 6. So the 4Runner, I'm assuming, will be 2 of 6, and so forth until the end of the year. So that's my story. Great excitement. If you're local, check your Checkers, the Checkers Hypers and the Checkers grocery stores. If you haven't had restocks yet, they might still be on the way. I have to admit, I haven't been digging through the shelves at our other Checkers branches, just because at this stage, if I find more, I'll probably just leave them on the shelf. This is ridiculous as it is, so I don't need to get insane about it. So yeah, that's it for this week. A bit of a long waffle. I hope you guys enjoyed it at least. Like I said, this doesn't come around very often. If you like the video, please give me a like and a subscribe, and please leave your comments. What Super Chases have you found? How's the restocks going on your end? Have you found something similar? I haven't seen anybody post this sort of thing yet, but this might inspire people to go and have a look at their local Checkers. So yeah, that's it for this week. I'll see you guys again next week. Keep well.